The biggest prison of humanity is not made of walls, it's made of words. The words that we keep repeating to ourselves. I'm anxious. I'm unlucky one. Always fail in relationship. I never can finish something. We toss those phrases around like a small talk, but they are not harmless. They are stories, and the stories are sticky. Tell them enough, and your brain not only try to prove that you're true, but build your life around it. It isn't a spiritual fluff, it's a practical one. The words you repeat become the direction that your life follows. Today I want to talk to you about how to catch those directions, and if you choose, how to change them. So stay with me. Human beings are storytelling animals. We just don't simply collect memories. We stitch them to narrative, so they make sense to us. Neuroscience shows that memories are encoded as a story. The brain prefers a plot, not a pile of facts. The problem is that some of those stories are too small. I'm broken one. I'm unlucky one. Repeat them enough, and your life will start to arrange itself around the story to prove that it's true. Psychologists call it confirmation bias. The brain filters experiences to feed the headline that you handed to it. Congratulations, you're editor of your life. And you repeat the same story over and over, and you publish it constantly. One of the core ideas of narrative therapy is simple. The person is not the problem. The problem is the problem. What that means? Listen to your language. I'm depressed. I'm failure. The linguistic fuse pins you to the problem. So change the narrative, change the language, and you already create a distance between yourself and the problem. Instead of saying I'm depressed, say I'm experiencing depression. You already create a distance between you as a person and what you're experiencing, instead of creating a character out of it. This space is where all the options and opportunity appears. Now you should notice where those stories comes from. Some story come from your parents, some from a cruel comment at age 10, some from a school, but the most important and difficult are the stories that fed sometimes by a bigger problem, the system. The system gives you a very neat headline. Productivity equal worth. Values equal youth. Sacrifice equal virtue. Work rewards not true quality, but measurable output. Media tells you how the success and happiness looks like. So you feel unlucky. You feel not fulfilled. This external script settling like a personal stories. All of a sudden you think, I know the problem, but I'm powerless. That's not just a personal story, that's a social one. So, if it's social, it's not your story. Change the story. Not only you change your direction, but you change the direction of the system. So, how do we actually do it? Not in theory, but in the muddy middle of life. First step is to catch the story. Listen to the label. I'm lazy. I'm not creative. I always mess up with everything. I always fail. Write them down. Seeing them in a paper keeps the distance, and it loses its authority. Ask where these stories are coming from. Is your story, or is a story that is handed to you from a school, employer script, cultural expectation? Name the source. If it's borrowed, it loses its authority. It's not anymore your story. It's a story that handed to you, so you can change it. You can change the destination. The next step is to understand that the absolute stories lie. Just think about it. Since your childhood, how many stories you believed to, and you grew up and you changed the stories. You didn't believe anymore to those older stories. Gather counter evidence. Be your own detective. The time you showed up, that small wins, the moment someone complimented you, and the most important, when you complimented yourself in silence and you were satisfied with what you did. These cracks are entry point. Start to rewrite it. Not a fake positivity, but expansion. Instead of I'm anxious, I'm experiencing anxiety. Instead of I always fail, I failed before. And I'm writing down those failures as an experience to discover the roadmap to success. These are not optimism as a mask. These are practical editing of a script your brain believe and follow. Think of your brain like a Google map. You type a destination, I'm failure, I'm unlucky, and the brain will create a map, a route to confirm that is true. Your brain never argues with you. It recalculates the destination. It finds a landmark to prove that the destination is real. That's confirmation bias in action. But if you change the story and the destination even slightly, I'm learning instead of I'm broken, the map recalculates and new routes appears, new opportunities, new possibilities. This is not a mystical, this is a neuroplasticity. Repeat phrase, build a new route. Repeat misery, you pave the road toward misery. Repeat possibility, you create a path to possibilities. And because many of our original maps were supplied by the society, by the system, by our parents, the school, we sometimes need to reprogram that GPS together. In conversation, in community, and with creating a new language. I'll give you one example that you can try it right away. If the culture says to be always productive, and the pressure, try one thing. Try 1 week to not be productive and to be creative. Choose one hobby, something that you like, something that is not measurable by productivity, but by your own happiness. See how you respond. If the system tells you or forces you to feel like you're powerless, say it out loud. Tell yourself, this is not me. This pressure comes from my job, from the society, from the culture. Naming it, losing the authority. Micro experience. Tonight, rewrite one sentence you have carried for a long time. Like, I'm bad in relationship, I'm always failure. Rewrite it into something 10% bigger and better. Rewrite where the source comes from. Where was your mistakes and those small wins that you had. It's not a lie, it's expansion. Keep it visible for 1 week. Notice how the route that your brain created will change. So here is the truth. You are not a problem. You are the storyteller. Narrative therapy isn't about faking happiness. It's about refusing to let the simple headline define your entire life. The story you tell, it becomes the map that your brain follows. Change one sentence and you change the route. Not overnight, but steadily and constantly. That's liberation you can practice. Tell me in a comment, what is one line that you carried for a long time and you're ready to rewrite it? Or you can also send me an email if you want to tell me in private. I read them, I respond. And sometimes it's good to create a community where we can experience and share our stories and rewrite it together. Let's rewrite it together. Congratulations, you already learned how narrative therapy works in a simple way. And if you're ready to choose to change your story, you will see how small wins become a big roadmap to success. So, write in a comment below, subscribe, and I see you next week. For now, goodbye.